St. Casimir, Prince of Poland. St. Casimir was second son of Casimir, King of Poland, and was born about the middle of the 15th century. From his childhood, he was remarkable for his inclination to piety, which was fostered and developed by his excellent tutor, John Douglas, a holy and learned canon of the Cathedral of Krakow. This good man was much esteemed and beloved by all the young princes, but there was not one of them who profited so much by his precepts and example as Casimir. In the midst of the luxury and splendor of the Polish court, the youthful prince learnt from his virtuous guide how to form his life by the maxims of the gospel. His clothing, though of a material suitable to his rank, was plain and simple, and concealed a hair shirt, which he wore next to his skin. His bed was frequently the ground, and he devoted a considerable part of the night to prayer and pious meditation. He often rose in the night and went to pray before the church doors, waiting till they were opened in the early morning. The smallest ceremonies of the church were held by him in high esteem, and he had greatly at heart whatever tended to promote piety and the service of God. His favorite devotion was meditation on the Passion of Jesus, a subject which moved him to tears and inspired him with transports of love. It was his delight to assist at the holy sacrifice of the Mass, during the celebration of which his devout and reverential behavior edified all beholders. He had also a singular devotion to the Blessed Mother of God, and is said to have composed, in her honor, the original of the hymn, Daily, Daily, which he often recited, and a copy of which was by his desire placed with his body in the tomb. His tender love of Jesus showed itself in his affection for the poor, to whose relief he devoted all that he had, and in whose behalf he interceded with his father and his brother, the King of Bohemia. In fact, his compassion caused him to regard the wants and afflictions of everyone else as if they were peculiarly his own. The young prince had not yet completed his 15th year, when a party of Hungarian noblemen who were dissatisfied with the reigning monarch requested the King of Poland to allow them to place his son Casimir on the throne. The ambitious monarch, unable to decline so flattering a proposal, dispatched an army of 20,000 men with the prince at their head to the frontiers of Hungary. Casimir, who acted throughout the affair simply in obedience to his father's orders, was here informed that his adversary had become reconciled to his subjects and had raised a considerable army to oppose his progress. Moreover, that Pope Sixtus IV had sent an embassy to the Polish king to induce him to desist from his undertaking. Thereupon, the young prince, rejoicing at the difficulties thrown in the way of an expedition of which he had never approved, petitioned his father for leave to relinquish the enterprise, a permission which was reluctantly granted. On his return home, fearing to aggravate his father's disappointment by appearing at court, he withdrew to a neighboring castle, where he devoted himself for 3 months to exercises of penance. Bitterly did he regret the part which he, however innocently, had taken in an expedition that he now perceived to have been opposed to the principles of justice. The error into which he had fallen proved an efficacious means of preserving him in after years from a similar peril. For when his father at a later period tried to induce him to renew the attempt, he found himself unable to prevail over the fixed and conscientious determination of his son. During the few remaining years of his life, Casimir labored assiduously by pious exercises and the practice of every virtue to accomplish the work of his sanctification. His health being very delicate, his physicians urged him to enter the married state as being likely to prolong his life, but he prized too highly the treasure of holy virginity to listen to their proposal. Being attacked by a lingering consumption, he redoubled his exercises of piety by way of preparation for death, and after receiving the last sacraments with great devotion, gave up his soul to God on March 4th, AD 1482, at the early age of 24. St. Casimir is honored as patron of Poland, and like St. Louis of Gonzaga, is proposed to the young as a pattern of every virtue, but especially of angelic purity.